We're back on the SportsMax zone and we're talking netball. The Americas Netball World Cup qualifying set for Kingston, Jamaica, the 16th of October to the 22nd of October. And Americas Netball President Marva Bernard is live in the studio with us, along with Dwayne Gutzmer, who is the local organizing committee boss in charge of putting all of these things together. I can tell you that within the last hour or two, the organizing committee getting some splendid news about confirmation of a major sponsor. And initially before the break, there was some hesitance from our guests to outline who these sponsors are. But I think they're willing to do so.
Well, I'll leave the big one for Mrs. Bernard to mention, and then I can fill in the blanks.
Digicel is on board.
But that's not surprising.
Big Digicel is on board. Big up Elon Pakistan, all the botheration and the pressing that Karen and I did. He and his team have come through. And I think Dwayne has the others.
Yes, it's going to be live on SportsMax, the home of champions.
How could you leave out yourself?
Yeah, the champion network, Digicel, is a part of the process.
A part of the family, yeah. So I was going to come hot on the heels of Digicel and say that SportsMax, certainly. We thank you for the opportunity. SportsMax is on board. We also have the Sports Development Foundation. NHT is there. We have Juicy. We have Courts, NCB, Gilbert, Water, True Shake, Budget, JPS, General Accident. Certainly, we have a lot of support, and we're very grateful to the sponsors who jumped on board. Yeah. Some were there from the beginning, from the first knock that Mrs. Bernard made, they were there. And let me also mention that our minister, Olivia Babsy-Grange, is the patron for the event, and her mantra has been considered done. Yeah. And whenever we go knocking for support to help us, to navigate some troubled waters, she's always said, considered it done.
There was some poll that surfaced some months ago that rated her as the best sports minister in the world.
Well, I won't deny that.
Yes. Marva, I know you are former president of Netball Jamaica, but your presidential status now stretches way beyond Jamaica. And I remember that during COVID, we had done an interview with you about the initial announcement that this tournament would be staged here. You were mentioning off air, Marva, that during the down period of COVID-19, a lot of work was done behind the scenes with regard to equipping teams, managers, coaches with upgraded skills to lift the standard of their teams. Could you talk to us about that?
This is, for me, a really good feeling of just not rolling over and saying COVID is here and we can't do anything. The executive of America's Netball set about to do training, capacity building. And I'll start with what we are presently doing now and work back. We have just completed 6 sessions of high-performance systems and structures conducted by a former high-performance manager of Netball New Zealand, Tracy Fair. And Tracy has taken the members who signed up for the course through how do you set up systems and structures to support your national teams. So this was on a Monday, 6 Mondays, 7 Mondays. Next week she will do media management and player brand support. Before that, we did governance, and we did a lot of coaching courses. 100 and odd coaches were trained during this COVID time, and we did training for umpires. So we trained future leaders, we trained umpires, and we trained coaches. And just before the tournament begins, I think on the 12th and the 13th, correct, Jill McIntosh, Sue Hawkins, Jill we know, Sue is from Australia also. Both of them are members of World Netball's coaching panel. And Rob Wright has accepted an invitation to be a guest lecturer. So we're going to have 2 days of a coaching seminar run by these 3 eminent coaches. And we expect about 50 coaches, Jamaica and from the region, to come and get this kind of learning. Because, Lance, you must have heard me say it several times. The quality of our students in all fields, school, sports, depends on the teachers. And if we have good trained teachers, we're going to get better students. And I don't believe that a person with a whistle around their neck qualifies to be a coach. You have to be certified. I feel, my team feels, to be able to coach players and produce winning teams. And so I'm happy that the members in the region, member countries in the region, bought into this and have been showing up and turning up for our coaching courses. So we're going to see some of the results on court.
When I started following netball closely, maybe late 80s through the 90s, when I went to Barbados to live, and I was a lot more exposed to what was happening in the Eastern Caribbean, it seems evident to me that the gap between, like, let's say, the top three and the others has widened. As your governance of America's netball is flourishing, what are the things, apart from some of the things that you just outlined, would you target to bring back some of these teams to be as strong as they were? I remember in the 90s, St. Vincent and the Grenadines were very, very strong. Barbados and Trinidad and Tobago couldn't just go to St. Vincent and the Grenadines and expect to beat them so easily. But they have fallen off. I know that the Ballantyne sisters, Gloria had been president at one point, and so on. And I'm not sure if there's a leadership crisis or what, but St. Lucia also not as strong as they used to be. Is that concerning for America's netball?
Of course it is concerning. That is why we have gone back to train. We have gone back to coach, to having where the coaches are being trained. We have gone back to training the future leaders, because sport is a business. And I don't like for people to just mouth it. It needs marketing, it needs PR, it needs accountants, it needs managers. And I must tell you how happy I was to speak to Skiddy Francis yesterday in the webinar. And I said, I don't know you, but I know your name.
Yes.
So St. Vincent sent 29 persons.
Yes, that's great.
To the high performance webinar.
Excellent. Yeah.
29 persons serious about wanting to be better. And their Prime Minister promised them, if they won the OECS tournament, he would help them to come to Jamaica.
And they won.
So I'm trying to get him to come as a UWI campus graduate. Yes. I'm saying, come and share.
And Ralph Gonzalez loves Jamaica.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah, he loves Jamaica dearly.
He was in my batch, so I probably say he was a member of the class of 69 with
he was
schooling, yes. And so I'm saying, why don't you
I must say that you don't look the same age, though.
I know, they're much older than I am. I was a baby girl when they were there. I just was bright. But Lance, it was good to talk to PM Ralph.
Yes.
And I said to him, look, these girls have done well.
Yes.
He says, I promised them,
Yes.
if they do well, then I would fund other part of it.
And he'll live up to his promises, I'm sure. And he loves sport, Ralph Gonzalez.
Yes.
People want to be proud of their country.
Yes. We've got to leave it here, though,
True.
Marva.
We don't have all evening.
No. we have many, many more similar discussions to come between now and the 16th of October.
To tell you.
Totally.
We know you do, and
Totally.
we will provide a platform for you to talk about the America's Netball World Cup qualifying, 16th of October to the 22nd of October, right here in Kingston, Jamaica, with the best Caribbean netballers converging on the city here in Kingston, Jamaica, to vie for 2 places to the World Cup in South Africa next year. Thanks, Marva. Thanks, Dwayne, for talking to us. As we said, still a lot more to discuss with regard to this event, and we will be doing that in the coming weeks. Still to come on today's show, we will take a look at what's happening on the Rare Tuesday race meet at Caymanas Park in Jamaica, horse racing. We'll also be getting an update on what took place in the ISA, the Costa Cup football competition in Jamaica. Our team at Draxol in St. Anne for a double-header. And next, we discuss amendments made by the ICC to some playing conditions. Faz Mohammed will stop by to help us analyze.